So now let me create another program, okay, and then try to use calculations for that one. So let's go to our package. We'll create one more program for calculations alone. Any doubt so far? These are the basic things which you would have also read during your C or any other programming language whenever you have read, right? Type C, type N. Just that in our C, we have this type N, type I, integer is like common. Similarly, numerics is also common. So kind of those complete types and incomplete, just that they have just differentiated into complete and incomplete types. Okay.
Right.
So now we will try to do some kind of like calculations. This also you are aware already how to do this. So, but I'm just trying to make you like accustomed to this arrangement, whatever is there in the SAP app, right? So what we will do is we will take two variables, okay, and we will try to do a few additions and subtraction. So can you tell me how to do that? Say for example, if I will take value LV1 equal to 1, okay, and LV2 equals to 10. Now if I want to do if I want to do a summation of this one, can you tell me how to do this and keep it in a result?
Yeah, third value, add it and write the third value. Third
Okay,
value.
result. Third value means which one?
Third variable maybe. Put it
So
in a
what
third value and write it.
tell me what is the third variable?
Can be any integer, right? LV3.
We have already given it here. Just see to the screen and tell me.
I. Is it?
No, it's result, right?
Okay,
Result
the result.
correct.
Yeah.
So what we will
It
do here for addition?
should be LV1 plus LV2 something.
As simple as that, right? Now, if I want to display it, then how will I display it?
I think LV1, right?
Right.
Right. Yes, you are correct. So now, if I want to display, how to display that?
Right
Right
result.
result.
Right.
Next line maybe. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just giving a quotation so that, like, you will be able to understand this. Result of the addition is our result, right?
Yeah.
So we will be able to see 11, correct? And the result of the addition you saw. Now suppose if I want to use the same variable for subtraction. So for that, what we will do? If I want to refresh this particular values, whatever is there, LV1 and LV2, and I want to use the same variable. So there is one word called as clear. Okay. So when we clear it, so what happens is it completely clears the value of whatever has been assigned earlier. Now you can use another time for the subtraction. Say for example, if okay, there is one more way to add as well. Okay, so say I give here as LV2 is equal to this one is this. I can use a keyword called as add. Okay, this also I can use. And now if I give here as, but here I'm not using result as the variable. I'm directly adding this LV1 to LV2. Now, what will be the value of LV1 and what will be the value of LV2? Any idea?
LV1 will be same and LV2 will be 11, I think.
LV2 will be 11
We
or
are
6?
adding LV1 to LV2.
Yes.
Okay, 2 and 4. Okay, 6. I read the top one.
So if you see this is 6. We can give it in a new line,
Mhm.
right?
It means we are adding, we are displaying both the values.
Yes. So it is in the new line, we are seeing 6. Okay. So either you can use plus symbol or you can use a add symbol. Similarly, if I want to use again for subtraction, so again, let me clear it. Okay. Now,
I have a question here.
yes.
So when we are doing add LV1 to LV2, so we are writing LV2. So it's a standard
Yes.
thing when we are using the word 2, like LV1 to LV2, then LV2 value becomes 6.
Yes, LV2 becomes 6. Like what we are
Okay.
assigning is 2 plus 4. We are
Right.
adding 2 to 4.
Right.
Correct? Plus 4
Yeah.
will be. So where it will be stored? It will be stored in LV2. We are not using result
Right.
here, right? We are not
Right.
storing.
Yeah.
But when we do addition here, so result equal to LV1 plus LV2. Similarly,
Okay.
for subtraction also, either you can use result equal to LV1 minus LV2, giving some values LV1, let's say 10, and LV2 is equal to 1. So 10 minus 1 is equal to 9. Or how you can use the subtract keyword. Say, for example, LV1 is equal to 30. Okay, LV2 equals to 20. Now, I will use subtract subtract LV2 from LV1, correct? So that means what? Or sorry, the value of LV1 from LV2. Now write if we are subtracting LV1 from LV2, that means 20 minus 30 it will happen, right? It will give minus 10. If we are subtracting, so it will give minus 10. So let's see what it gives. LV1. Just a second. We are subtracting LV1 from LV2. So that means 20 minus 32. 30. 20 minus 30. So now if we give here as LV2, so it should give 10 minus. Correct. So if we will give here LV2 from LV1, V2 from LV1, and then whatever you are subtracting from, you display it, then here it will be 10. See, 10. Okay. Any doubt here?
We are doing LV2 from LV1, right? So which means 20.
Yes, LV2 from LV1. So now the value is stored in here, LV1. So whatever will be the second variable, that is used to store the value, right?
Okay. So here 20 minus 30, right?
No,
We are
no.
taking 20.
Subtract the LV2 from
Okay.
LV1. From
Okay.
LV1.
Fine.
So
Yeah.
30
Got it.
minus, right? So
Yeah.
now, say for example, I will try to use this again for your division. So you can just see like how it looks like divide LV1 by LV2. Okay, that you can use, or you can use the symbol slash, like that slash, backward slash, right? This was the backward slash. So say for example, if I give here LV1 equal to 30 and LV2 equals to 10, right? So, and I use divide LV1 by LV2, correct? And we write the result right. So what will be the result here? 30 by 10, that will be equals to 3, correct? If you give LV2, then it will only give you as 10. But since you are dividing the LV1 by LV2, okay, the value will be stored in this LV1, correct? Similarly, for multiplication also, you can just write out LV1 into LV2, it will give 300, okay? And you can use the result for that. Any doubt here? Now, when I said that we have 3 types of variables here. So we saw the system variables, right? What are the static variables? So static variables are generally declared in subroutines or function modules or static methods, right? So subroutines and function modules are certain topics which we will cover in the coming classes. So this lifetime of the static variable will be linked to the context of the declaration. For example, we use this parameters and select options. These are part of your selection screens. Okay, so when you design the selection screen, if you remember, I told you there is one program. I asked you to check these programs, right? I'm not sure if those programs are there or not. Let's see. Demo help. Do we have anything? No, this is just a dialog box. Let's see if there is any standard program which we can see. Okay, this also doesn't have any selection screen. Okay. There was one program which So if you see this, if I go here, can you see this screen which is developed here? So this is where we call it as a selection screen. So for the static variables, generally we will use the parameters or select options. So the parameter statement can be used to declare the elementary data objects that are linked to the input fields on a selection screen. So this one is called as a selection screen, where the user will provide the input, and based on that input, certain values will come or the values will be fetched. Similarly, parameters is just like a single variable which will hold a one value. Okay, but select option acts like an internal table. So internal table, I have not come to that topic yet, but what it means is it will hold multiple values or range of values. So it will declare, you can declare it as an internal table that will be linked to the input field on a selection screen. Okay, so you cannot use this special characters such as t or comma to this name variables. Okay, generally whenever we are declaring any variable, local variable naming convention starts with L, okay, LV or LS or LT like that, and your global variable generally it starts with G. Okay, it depends on whatever naming convention has been set by your respective projects. Okay, so if I want to go here, I showed you this data types. This is hello world calculations. I was there, right? So if you want to see how to use a selection screen thing, So let's display selection screens. Okay. Suppose I will use a parameters name. I can give the length like this as well. Okay. Or I can give name type C length 10 like that. Okay. Class is type I, school is type E, is 2, and suppose I want to use material. Just 1 second. Decimals 2, and suppose I want to use material type Mara Matmar. Okay. Type. So if I want to show you how it looks like in the selection screen, you can see this is how it looks like. Okay. As of now, since we have not used anything in the coding where it can store the values, I'm just showing you how you can design the selection screen. Okay, with parameters. Similarly, when I showed you this one, select option so underscore works for this. This one, if you see, it has a range of values, correct? So that means it can store multiple ranges or this thing. So this is a by default screen which comes, okay, for the select options. So I can also use these parameters for creating checkboxes and radio buttons. So let me show you that as well. So any doubt in this parameter which I showed to you, how to design these selection screens? So if calculations, right? So now select options, okay? So in the select options, if say for example, there is something called as select options, and I will use here as first I will declare a variable here, data, say LV number is equal to type I, okay? So in the select options, I will try to use, so the naming convention for the parameters is P mostly. So I have used here as the name class core material type, but in your program mostly they will say the naming convention to use this P underscore something. Similarly for select options, S underscore the description. Okay, so if I want to try to create a select option here, then S underscore name num for, okay, this is the syntax for that, for LV underscore num. It will generally take any variable which is of type which is either declared already, or see, if you see here, what is the difference? Let me take this thing, okay, the calculations. I'll show you the difference here, okay. So what is happening? snum for L underscore num, okay. So now if I give here as like this, so let's see how it looks like. Okay. So if you see this, you can see the range of the variables, right? S underscore num. Now, if I want to change the name of this S underscore num, so how you can go and do that? You can go to this go to text element and selection text. So can you see this S underscore name? I can just say it as a number. Okay. Now if I execute it, so you can see number. Okay, whenever you try to say. Now if suppose I don't declare it like this and I straight away want to declare like this. So what happens here? I have used here EKPO works. Okay, and I am trying to use a search help here. See the error what it will give. It will say that EKPO works is unknown. It is neither one of the specified table or nor defined by a data statement. So here what we did, before using the for variable here, we have declared it. Since we have not declared anything, that's where it was throwing error. So what we can do is, since EKPO is already a standard table, we can just use like this, and now it will not give any error. You can also declare the parameters as a checkbox also. Okay, so say for example I'll have a requirement where you need to declare your parameters as checkboxes, and each of them will represent a different like flight class. For example, first class, business class, or economy class. In that case, what I will do is I will have to declare parameters. Okay, and I will give here as p first as checkbox. Here we are not taking any reference. Okay, either you can use comma or you can give like this parameters p underscore business class as checkbox. Okay, similarly parameters p underscore economy if you remember, I told you that you can declare either like this directly with a variable, or you can make use of an already declared variable using the like keyword. Correct? So this is how the like keyword has to be used. So now if I display it, let me see what happens here. Oh, okay. Also, can you see this? Like there is a like restriction on using the length of the parameters. It can only be up to 8 characters length. So we always have to look into that. Otherwise, it will give you anyway error. So I just made it short. And if I want to see right now with the checkbox thing, so you can see this. This is how it will look like. And you can always change the name of these things. You can also click on it, and based on, so these will be used, this parameters with checkbox, parameters with radio buttons is also there. So say for example, now I want to use it as a radio button. Each of them will represent the same thing, but I will use it as a radio button. Now for that, let's try to use, here I am just giving it as a comment. This is like checkbox. Okay, similarly this is for the radio buttons. P underscore F1 radio button group. We have to use it as a group. This is the syntax to how to use a parameter as a radio button group. Why we use this group one? Like going forward in the programming, when you do it, right? Like you need to manipulate. So if suppose I choose radio P underscore F1 as the default radio button, then the rest of the radio buttons needs to be like disabled. So for those things, you will be using this radio button group one. Okay. But as of now, I'm just showing you how to use this. Okay. P_B1 radio button. GRP1. And if you want to copy this particular line to another line, you can use a control D. Okay. So control D, CTRL plus D will actually copy that line, and you can change it according to whatever you want to declare. Okay. Just to avoid typing again. So now I want to use this. Oh, sorry. See, this is how the red. By default, the one will be always clicked. Okay, this is how it is.